For anybody out there who has a buttered noodle kit at home, or if you are still a buttered noodle kit at heart, try this.
Hi everyone, it's Kaitlin from The Walks of Life, and today we're making a tasty, quick little recipe, Asian garlic noodles. Usually we don't like to describe things as Asian, but in the case of these garlic noodles, that's kind of the term that they're best known as online. This dish was actually created by Vietnamese American chefs in San Francisco who kind of doctored what normally would be sort of a basic garlic and parmesan oil spaghetti noodle with a little bit of oyster sauce, soy sauce, lots of garlic, some scallions. They kept the Parmesan cheese and butter, and it's just layers and layers of umami flavor in one plate of spaghetti. The result is an addictive spaghetti dish that you can kind of pair with anything. Make it with salmon, make it with chicken, make it with shrimp, add a little pork into it. The richness of the butter kind of mellows out the soy, and like it kind of is transformed into a whole other thing. Like we have a soy butter steak, we have another soy butter pasta recipe. It's just a really great combo. And the best thing about these noodles is how easy it is to make. We're just using regular spaghetti. There's really nothing to this. Before you know it, it's gonna be done, and I'm gonna show you how to make it. So let's talk about the cheese. I just have some pre-grated Parmigiano Reggiano cheese here. This is kind of like the dregs from the fridge here and Sarah's fridge. It is worth it in this case to get Parmigiano Reggiano. I know it's like, ooh, big snob energy, but I promise, because there's so few ingredients in this recipe, you actually really do want to make sure you're getting the higher quality stuff. So you can start with a block and grate it yourself. Costco sells a reasonably priced Parmigiano Reggiano block for about $15 a pound. You can get that, and then you can just grate a bunch, store it in the freezer. This is kind of an indulgence. This is $24.99 a pound, but when I'm at the store, I'm like, oh, $10.50. Either one works. So that's sort of the best.
Did your Asian mother teach you nothing?
So that's kind of the best option. Second tier after the Parmigiano Reggiano would be like a Grana Padano cheese. If you can't find either of those, I think personally I would go with the Kraft shaker because I think it's the right texture. So now that our cheese talk is out of the way, I'm just going to slice the garlic and the scallions. We have 8 cloves of garlic here. This recipe makes about 4 small servings. We have a slider on all of our recipe cards where you can multiply the quantity of ingredients per the number of servings that you need. To prepare this garlic, I'm just gonna slice it, and I wanna slice it into like as thin as little paper slices as I can. In every bite of noodle, you get like a really tasty little garlicky cross section. They don't have to be perfect. It's actually nice if it's imperfect. Get some jagged edges. So this is what we're kind of ending up with. There's some thinner, some thicker. And then the scallion, I am just going to slice the white part in half lengthwise, just so I get a little better distribution. And this is just gonna give the garlic noodles another hit of oniony flavor. I know I cut the white part in half lengthwise, but for a dish like this, I like to keep the green stalk whole, just because I think it looks nicer to have like a complete circle. That's all the chopping we have to do. While we were waiting for the water to boil, I figured, why wouldn't we just make a whole box pasta? So that's what I'm gonna do. Some might say this is a too small pot of water for this much pasta. I say it's the perfect size to toss the pot. Actually, it's not really. It's too big. It's too small. Well, this was a perfect size for 12 ounces of spaghetti. We'll see if I need to get a larger skillet.
I mean,
out.
there are advocates for low volume pasta water cooking thing. It makes the water starchier.
I just don't like to get out a big pot of water, but I guess there's a rationale for it. I actually am gonna salt the pasta water. There's not so much salt in the sauce that we don't need to salt it. It'll make it much tastier. Now I will wait for about 7 to 8 minutes until this pasta is al dente. We are using thin spaghetti. I've made it with regular spaghetti. I actually do like it, but the thin spaghetti makes it a little bit more noodly. So I'm just gonna melt the butter. I have about 5 tablespoons of butter here. Maybe a little more. Whoopee. And then once it's mostly melted, I'll add in the garlic. And with the garlic, we actually don't want it to brown. We just want it to get softened and like sweet. I'm gonna turn the heat up just slightly. Probably fluctuate between medium, high, and medium. The thing about simple pastas like this is that they are easy. There are things that can technically go wrong, but you know, the more and more you make this, the more you'll kind of get that feel for when it's kind of ready, when it's done, when to reduce heat, when to increase the heat. All right, so these noodles are just about done here. I am actually going to reserve some pasta water, so I just carefully use a bowl like this. That's probably more than I'll need, but you don't want to run out. So I'm gonna set this aside, and then I'm just gonna drain the noodles. So now I'm ready to actually stir in our sauces. So I need about a tablespoon and a half of oyster sauce, a heavy tablespoon of light soy sauce, sesame oil. We call for a little bit of turmeric powder, just for a tiny bit of festive yellow color, but this is really optional. I'm not gonna add too much. And then brown sugar. I'm just gonna stir this, get it going, break up this sugar lump. So now I'm gonna add the scallions in. And I just want these to like just wilt and kind of lose their edge and mellow out. Now I'm gonna add the spaghetti. I'm gonna switch to tongs just to make it a little easier to stir. When you add the cheese is a good time to add the pasta water. It's just gonna help it melt. So I'm just gonna give this all a toss. That dark sauce, the color from the oyster sauce, that caramel color from the soy sauce. I'm gonna add a little bit more water. And you know, if you ever feel like, oh my God, I added too much water, don't worry. Keep stirring, it'll get absorbed. So when we boil the pasta, we always want to be on that cautious edge of al dente because as you can see, these noodles have been sitting in this hot pan getting tossed and stirred in the sauce for like 2 minutes. So that is all residual cooking time for the spaghetti. So if you cook them a little bit fluffier in the water, once you get them in the pot and by the time you're eating, it might be a little soggy. So we're just giving it a few final tosses. And that is our Asian garlic noodles. Let's give it a try. I can't wait to taste this. I'm gonna try not to take too big of a bite. It's hard though. Just so tasty. All that butter. The garlic has like a blurred effect. Scallion adds a little freshness. The oyster sauce, the soy sauce, the sesame oil, it just blends into this like background of flavor.
It's not a ton of cheese either for a pound of pasta. Everything is very harmonious.
So easy. If you're tired of eating rice or you want something a little extra special when people come over, this is the perfect side dish to make. This little bit of garlic. So good. So that is our Asian garlic noodle recipe. It's 5 stars on the blog. People love it. They make it again and again, and we hope you like it too. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and visit us at thewalksoflife.com for more delicious and easy recipes like this one. Thanks, everyone.
Costco's blocks are reasonably priced at $15 a pound.
Seems like a lot.
Well, from Whole Foods, your one there is $26 a pound.
I'm a sucker. Okay.